If you are a self-proclaimed overthinker who is stuck in a job that you hate because you just can't figure out what to do instead, then we need to talk. First, and I know this might surprise you, but your overthinking is not the problem. It's not. The problem is that you're trying to think your way into career certainty, and certainty doesn't exist in career change. Ask me how I know. Ask me. I know because I was where you are now. I was stuck in a healthcare data entry job that was not right for me, but I had absolutely no idea what else to do in my career. But once I moved to taking action, I found a career path in counseling that I have been thriving in for over a decade now. So, like I said, we need to talk. So by the end of this video, you will understand the difference between clarity and certainty and how to use that analytical mind of yours that overthinks to strategically make decisions instead of letting it keep you stuck in a job that you hate. If you're new here, welcome. Hi. And if you're a regular viewer, welcome back. I'm Dr. Tega Edwin. I'm a faith-based career coach, and I help professional women leave draining jobs that they don't like and land higher paying, more fulfilling careers. After leaving my own unfulfilling career path and doing fulfilling work over the past decade, I am now on a mission to help more women experience the joy, the satisfaction, and the confidence that comes with doing work that is aligned with the gifts and talents that God has given you. So let's get into today's video. Okay, so let me tell you about the most miserable period of my career. The year was 2009. And I was working in a tiny little cubicle office doing healthcare data entry for like a lung cancer research center. And I promise you that every day I could slowly feel my soul dying with every spreadsheet I completed. And I just knew that this wasn't what I was meant to do, but I had no idea what else I could do in my career. And it made me feel completely stuck and confused. Now, I'm not naturally an overthinker. At least I don't think I was back then. I'm definitely not now, but I felt stuck for a different reason. I was following the thought of what I was supposed to do in my career. So I grew up Nigerian. I grew up in a culture where real jobs were doctor, lawyer, engineer. And I thought I was going to be a doctor. I had taken the MCAT and failed. And I decided to continue in that healthcare path, which is how I ended up in healthcare research. And I didn't pick that path because it fit me or who I was, but because it just seemed kind of like the responsible thing to do. But it wasn't, and it didn't work for me. And here's what I see happening with overthinkers that's kind of similar to what I was struggling with. And this might be why you're stuck in a similar place of your own career dissatisfaction. You've been in your current job for many years, maybe even decades, and you know that it's not what you want. You know it's not right for you. But every time you think about leaving, your mind spirals into analysis paralysis. So now you're spending hours researching jobs online while your brain is running through what I call the what ifs. You know them. So things like, what if I choose the wrong career and waste years of my life? What if I leave this job and I can't find anything better? What if I'm just not cut out for work I actually enjoy? What if I make a change and regret it? Like these are all the kind, not all, most of these what ifs are things that I struggled with when I was feeling stuck in my own career. So instead of actually gaining clarity so you can take action, you just end up more confused. You see job descriptions that sound interesting, but then you overthink. But do I have the right experience? What if I hate it? What if it's not as good? What if it's as bad as my current job right now? You might even start taking steps like updating your resume, maybe even looking at job postings. But when it's time to apply, you just freeze. You freeze because deep down, you're waiting for that moment of perfect certainty where you know beyond a shadow of doubt what your next move should be. But here's what I learned the hard way, what I teach my clients that I want you to know, that moment of perfect certainty, girl, it doesn't exist. And as an overthinker, this creates a terrible trap because you're too smart to make impulsive decisions, but your need for certainty keeps you stuck in situations that are literally slowly destroying your health, your confidence, and your joy. So you go back to overthinking. Maybe I'm just not meant for fulfilling work. Maybe some people figure it out and others don't. But that's just not true. The issue isn't that you can't figure it out. The issue is that you're confusing clarity with certainty. And that was the mindset shift that changed everything for me in my own journey. Clarity is enough. Certainty is impossible. Let me explain the difference to you. Certainty means you know exactly how everything is going to turn out. You want to know that if you leave your current job, you will definitely find something better. You will definitely be good at it, and you will definitely be happy in it, and you will never have regrets. Girl, that is fantasy world, okay? Clarity means you have enough information to take the next right step confidently, even without knowing exactly how the entire path will unfold. So here's an example. Let's say you're currently in accounting, but you think that you might want to do something a little bit more creative. Certainty would mean knowing that you will love graphic design, you will be successful at it, and you will never miss your stable accounting salary when you switch. But clarity, on the other hand, just means knowing I value creativity more than I currently have. I'm interested in visual communication, and I know that I enjoy projects that have tangible outcomes I can see. That's enough. That's enough clarity to start exploring design related careers. As an overthinker, you have been waiting for certainty because your analytical brain, your analytical mind wants all the data before making a decision. But career change just doesn't work that way. No amount of thinking will give you certainty about how you will feel in a job that you've never done. Not to mention, if you're a woman of faith, if you have certainty, you don't need faith. And the Bible clearly tells us that without faith, it is impossible to please God. So the good news is that clarity is actually achievable, and that's all you need to start moving forward towards a more fulfilling career. So how exactly do you build clarity? Well, you do it through systematic self-discovery using my visa framework. So when I was stuck in that healthcare data entry job, I wasn't overthinking like many of my clients do, but I was making the same fundamental mistake. At that point, I was trying to figure it all out in my head, think my way into my next move instead of actually using a structured approach. It wasn't until I decided that for me to figure out what kind of work I would thrive in and find fulfilling, I would have to figure out who I was so that the work would match who I was. And that's how I developed this visa framework to help you get unstuck. Because that's how I got unstuck, and it's what I use with my clients. And this is what I discovered works also for overthinkers with analytical minds, because it gives your overthinking something productive to channel into and do. So what exactly is the visa framework? V is values. So instead of trying to figure out my dream job personally, I started by understanding what kind of environment, what conditions would I need to be in to thrive. I knew that I needed meaningful work that helped people. I wanted intellectual stimulation and autonomy. I didn't really need to know the exact job title. I just wanted to know, or needed to know, what the environment would be and that it would energize me. I wanted to like my coworkers and enjoy the work. I is for interest. So I stopped waiting for the perfect career to just magically reveal itself to me, and I started paying attention to what naturally engaged me. I noticed back then that I loved being around children and helping children. I enjoyed learning about psychology and just human behavior. I had just finished a minor in psychology in my undergrad, so I was drawn to conversations about personal growth, and that's how I landed on counseling, specifically school counseling, because it matched that desire to help people with working with kids. The S is skills. So I had to identify not just what I was good at, but what I was good at and actually enjoyed doing. So for me personally, that was talking. Duh, I'm making videos right now. Listening to people, helping people, complex problem solving, seeing patterns that others missed. And that was what I was able to take all of that information and do the final part of the framework, which is A, alignment research. So I used that systematic exploration to research careers that matched my values, my interests, and my skills to see what kind of work I would enjoy. And that's how I discovered counseling as my path, not through just a magic lightning bolt moment, but through strategic, methodical research. This framework gave me enough clarity to know that counseling was worth exploring further without me needing certainty that it would be the perfect path. And so I went on to get my master's degree in counseling. I became a school counselor, then a career counselor, then a mental health counselor, and then a counselor educator. I have been on this path for over a decade now. So that is how the visa framework works. Now, once you have some direction about where to go from the visa framework, Here's how you can build on that clarity without taking big risks. Career research projects. These are low risk ways to test your theory about potential career directions while keeping your current job and financial stability. So, for example, let's say you go through the visa process and you're seeing that project management might be right for you. You don't need to quit your job to immediately become a project manager. Instead, you can do research projects. You can volunteer to lead a project at your current company. You can even take an online project management course in the evenings to see how it feels. You can do informational interviews with 2 to 3 different project managers in different industries to better understand the role. You can join a professional project management association just to see what people are talking about. Or let's say you're drawn toward nonprofit work, then you can volunteer a few hours on the weekends with an organization that you care about. You can even attend nonprofit networking events during your lunch break to start talking to those people in that space. You can research nonprofit salaries and career paths online and even talk to people who made a move from one industry to a nonprofit transition. Okay. The beauty of research projects is that they satisfy your need for more information while giving you real data about whether a direction is worth pursuing or not. So when you do this, you're not making life-changing decisions this way. You're just gathering data and intelligence to make your next move. And if a research project confirms your interest, then you can do more, right? If it reveals that the reality doesn't match your expectations, then you've saved yourself from feeling like you wasted time and you can move on to the next option. This approach is how you can take that analytical, overthinking nature and make it an asset. So that instead of overthinking hypothetical what ifs, you're actually testing real situations and collecting data. By the way, if you are finding this video helpful so far, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons below. When you hit the like button, it tells YouTube that this video is worth sharing with other people who need this information. And when you subscribe, you don't miss future videos where I'll be showing you how to land a higher paid, more fulfilling job. Now, that being said, there might be a part of you that's thinking, but what if I go through this whole process and I still don't find fulfilling work? What if I'm just one of those people who is destined to be unsatisfied professionally? And I'll be honest with you, I kind of had this fear too. Like, let me just be candid. Because part of me worried that maybe I was expecting too much, that maybe work was just something that you endured or just did to pay bills. But something that I have learned after finding fulfillment in helping hundreds of women make successful career transition, that voice in your head that's saying, maybe I'm just not meant for more, it's just fear disguised as realism. You're afraid. You're afraid of the unknown. You're afraid of change. So it's keeping you stuck. That's the truth. And honestly, if you are smart enough to overthink career decisions, you are smart enough to find work that engages that intelligence in meaningful ways. Like, overthinking really is just an analytical mind, and that is a major asset when you learn how to channel it into ways that are productive. So women who tell themselves they're not meant for fulfilling work are often the most capable of creating it, in my experience. They just need the right framework to move from that position of analysis paralysis into taking strategic action. So if you are tired of your overthinking keeping you stuck in a job you hate, and you're ready to use that analytical mind strategically, I want to invite you to watch my free training where I show you exactly how to leave that job that you don't like and land a job that actually excites you. In my free training, I walk you through my complete visa framework step by step, and I show you exactly how to conduct career research to help you build clarity without requiring you to take big risks. In this training, you will learn how to gather the data that your overthinking brain needs to make confident decisions. I also share a bit more of my story, and I show you how other women have been able to make transitions from unfulfilling roles to more fulfilling roles using strategic exploration instead of just impulsive jumping. The link to register for that training is in the description below, or you can just go to leaveyourmiserablejob.com to register and watch the training today. Now, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons below, and then don't leave, okay? Once you hit the like, subscribe, and notify bell below, don't go anywhere, because watch this. There's another video popping up on the screen right here, right now. And I just want you to take a moment and click that video. Watch that video, because it's going to help you in your career.